Everything Everywhere All at Once is absolutely brilliant, and along with I Saw the TV Glow, restored my faith in new films. Not only that new films can still be really good, I think there are a lot of new, interesting films coming out, even if most are kind of safe or cliche remakes, but also that directors and producers are still willing to take insane creative risks. Evelyn finds out that she is the one affecting these other universes, and her being this chosen one in the universe is not just because she has the potential to reach any of the universes that she calls upon, it's also because her decisions are what is impacting everyone around her, including her daughter, husband, and father. She is the only one that can fix things. She's the only one that can change the impact of what she assumes are innocuous decisions that are actually incredibly important.
Feel it. You've been feeling it too, haven't you? Something is off. Your clothes never wear as well the next day. Your hair never falls in quite the same way. Even your coffee tastes wrong. Our institutions are crumbling. Nobody trusts their neighbor anymore. And you stay up at night wondering to yourself, how can we get back?
I love that throughout those universes, the same people end up reappearing again and again, no matter what. They resurface in one form or another, as her husband does, to impede or help her through the changes she's making. Evelyn has so much power in this universe because she hasn't committed to a specific life path. It's interesting that Gong Gong is in control of the operation against Jobu Tupaki, but he's trying to solve the problem with old school brute force, which is all he knows. But ultimately, that won't help Evelyn, who also just wants to literally fight the problem. What does solve the problem is Evelyn learning from a multitude of experiences that comes from performing these multiverse jumps. She slingshots into another universe by doing what is completely unexpected of her, out of character, and at times bizarre. As hilarious as some of these multiverse jumps are, they symbolize the directions her life could have taken at any point and how she is so close to any of those lives in any moment, even Hot Dog Fingers universe, because life itself is just comprised of a million of these tiny decisions, and they're just a away from being someone's reality. On that note, Daniel Kwan forcing the audience to lean into the film's weirdness is an open invitation to understand the major theme of the film. Lean into what is bizarre, what is unexpected, because the alternative, feeling nothing, feeling apathy, will consume every moment and therefore every decision.
What is that? I got bored one day, and I put everything on a bagel. Everything. All my hopes and dreams, my old report cards, every breed of dog, every last personal ad on Craigslist. Sesame, poppy seed, salt. And it collapsed in on itself. Because you see, when you really put everything on a bagel, it becomes this.
Come on, Evelyn.
The truth.
What is the truth?
Nothing matters.
I think the film makes the point that the worst version of Evelyn also creates the worst version of Joy. And this bagel that destroys anything and everything, which I think is ultimately apathy, is symbolic of the circular logic employed by Evelyn and passed down to Joy. Instead of facing her despair, Evelyn becomes apathetic and dismissive to get through the day, which ironically, that is the only thing that can change things, and an appreciation for any given moment is what will ultimately keep these characters from that despair. But to understand that, Evelyn realizes she will actually have to feel the despair that causes the disassociation, causes that apathy, and allow Joy to feel that despair too. The bagel is a complete disregard for the moment, for what makes it beautiful, and the things that make life worth living, even if that means accepting pain too. It is empathy, finding love and gratitude for the people in Evelyn's life that make these moments meaningful. To feel nothing is certain death of the entire ecosystem, and that disassociation can actually run for generations. Ultimately, Evelyn helps Jobu Tupaki escape that bagel by exposing the despair as manageable, by going through it with her and then letting her feel it for herself. To experience it and lean into appreciation anyway is to also understand that this despair is manageable. Evelyn experiences what Jobu Tupaki wants her to experience, but comes back from it when she realizes the love people still have for her, even in the abyss that is the apathy of which Jobu Tupaki exposes her to. Evelyn feels that complete and utter nothingness only for that to make for a solid foundation to build on, because even in the worst case scenario for that moment, Deirdre offers her love, and Waymond still shows her kindness as he always has. The apathy, living life as rocks, is even worse than just working through these problems, because at least in that world, she still has Waymond and Joy. Evelyn proves to herself and Joy that the darkness at the bottom still has a bottom, and to keep yourself from feeling despair is to keep yourself from appreciating the kindness and love in your life that helps you through that despair. Evelyn says to Waymond, "I'm learning to fight like you, because only love and gratitude can keep her and the other people in her life from that black hole too." That is what keeps Evelyn from feeling nothing. She shows all these people that all of the arbitrary things they love are what makes the difference between them being consumed by that apathy or not. But that means you have to be there for those people too. You have to let them fall into that apathy and show that you are still there for them, still there after they experience that darkness, and in a way fall into that despair with them, or at least not hide from it. The weirdness of this film is woven into the plot itself. It's not just bizarre and out there for the sake of being bizarre. Characters are able to make this jump into the multiverse by doing something that is entirely against what would make sense. They perform some insane action like paper cutting in between their fingers, and then they're able to channel this skill of an entirely different person. That is the theme of the entire film, doing something you don't want to do, or doing something that is not expected of you for the sake of becoming someone vulnerable or skilled, even when you have no inspiration or reason at all. Because life is the amalgamation of all these experiences. So all these moments either mean everything or nothing, no matter the inspiration or expectation that has been built up around any of them individually. As Waymond says, we can do whatever we want, nothing matters, because as long as you're with the people you love, there's endless meaning in every moment.
Evelyn, did you hear me?
Sorry. What did you say?
I honestly can't recommend this film enough, and after this and Swiss Army Man, I'll watch every single thing Dan Kwan does. 10 out of 10.